So I have really fond memories growing up as a child. Folks looked out for each other. We played hot rocks when they laid the gravel, and we had fun. I still have some friends from my childhood that I've known for 35 years growing up in that housing building. Moving into my teens, we moved to 29th and Aldridge, and that was the rise of a lot of drug addiction. That was the rise of a lot of gangs. But we still maintain community, but it was a little tougher as a teenager growing up in Northside.
It's been cool, man, but if I walk to Harrison, I run into gangs, different gangs. And then if I walk to Glenwood from 6th, which is closer to me, then I would run into gangs. And then if I would walk to Plymouth, there was 2 or 3 different sets on the way there. So for me, living in Minnesota, growing up in Minnesota, I learned a lot about myself and spent a lot of time running, you know what I mean? Opportunities, but what I did learn was that if you give people opportunities without the knowledge of without taking their mind state from where it's used to being, they're still gonna turn it back into something negative.
Growing up over North, it was fun. It was united. We had a lot more events than we do now. We used to have fun. It's just a big community. We all used to look out for each other. Yeah.
Well, I didn't grow up over North. I grew up in Alabama, but North and Alabama, where I grew up at, was similar in some ways because it was always violence and family. Everybody knew each other. But people make it seem like North is a bad place, but it really is not.
Because when you don't carry a gun, it makes you think about how to avoid situations. When you carry a gun, times of the wish factor, times the stress that you got, there's an energy. You said what? It's an energy you ever notice when you see a gun, you be like, it's almost like you hear the music like dun, dun, in the back of your head, every time you see one. Because the gun has been fed to us, the gun is really the Bible of the United States.
The way that violence is playing out in our community is heartbreaking, but it also is a sign and a message for us to do something about it, and not to run away, but to stay in our community and figure out not what the symptom is, because the symptom is the gun violence, but what is the root?
It is what it is. It just didn't got too deep to the point where it's like, I don't think they can put the guns down, even if they tried, because it'd be like, it's always gonna be that one person mess things up.
I feel like it's like a drug and people are addicted to it.
The issue is what we're not dealing with is sorrow and grief. And until we deal with that piece, times our post-traumatic slave syndrome, we are not gonna be able to do anything because everybody in the world is watching the people with the most amount of resources not be able to pull it together. And we're not holding ourselves accountable. Gun violence is more about people gonna kill each other, whether it's rocks or bricks or whatever. We need to focus on the hatred.
From an outside perspective looking in, the Northside known for violence, poverty. Everybody, is known for like being the hood.
But if you're in the inside of it, and then you know how it is. Like, it's cool, fun. You have fun daily, all the time. You're never not gonna have something to do. But if you're on the outside looking in, then you see what you look for, and they looking for violence.
In an unintelligent mind, North Minneapolis is known for violence. To the person who understands a little bit, North Minneapolis is known for creativity and intelligence and a lot of deep thinkers.
People say, oh, it's so much violence, it's so much this. That's not all that's going on over here. And ain't nobody doing nothing on the north side. That's a lie, because I'm running like Harriet, so quit playing.
For North Minneapolis, I want North Minneapolis to be its own city. The whole north side, its own city, we'd have all the wealth.
Gun violence, but you can't change that. It's people. You ain't gonna change people.
I want this fentanyl off these blocks. I want West Broadway and Lindale safe for everybody intergenerationally. I want to have more opportunities provided for our young people. the addiction, the opportunity. It's hard to make good choices if you don't have no options. We have to change the narrative to our story, and then get our babies.